Sa PBA, hindi madalas na makakita tayo ng wing na may height, may skill, at may decent athleticism. Hindi rin madalas sa 6'5 or taller yung mga ganong combination ng skills. At hindi rin madalas na may guard skills na we could consider as a point forward. That player is Chris Kun, ang 4th overall pick sa 2025 PBA draft na pinili ng Northport Batang-Pierre. Is a player na absurdly different in a good way. Pero behind the idea of a 6'5 point forward, merong glaring issues and weaknesses na either big deal or depende on how you look at it. So pag-usapan natin, quick background, si Chris Kun last played for Ateneo Blue Eagles under Coach Baldwin. So he's from a very popular school and a very highly touted head coach sa Pilipinas. And sa stint niya with Ateneo, mas better siya do sa mga earlier stints niya. Pero yung last two kasi medyo nasa rebuilding phase ang Ateneo noon. And he had a couple of minor injuries na nag-setback sa kanya in terms of rhythm. Pero nung panahon na sabay sila ni Kai Balungay, he really played great nung time na yon. Pero sa last season niya sa Ateneo, which was UAAP season 87, Chris Kun averaged 7.6 points, 4.2 rebounds, and 1.8 assists per game. Numbers may not wow you, pero it's very decent, a little bit of everything. Halos mga 8, 4, and 2. Biggest downside though ng game niya ay yung shooting. Sa season na yan, he only shot 30.2% from the field and 25.9% from 3. Hindi ko na i-sugarcoat, hindi ko na pagagandahin, pero those percentages, 30% tsaka 26% from 3, is very bad. That's why medyo mababa ako kay Kun sa mga previous videos. I had him around 8 to 11. Worst case scenario, 11 kung mag-slide or 10. And 4 to me is crazy, pero gets ko naman din since hindi naman malalim ang draft class. You draft for best talent available or best tools possible. Especially point forward na 6'5", diba? Hindi naman laging may ganon sa draft. So I do understand naman. Pero still, yung shooting talaga is a huge concern to me unless, diba, mag-improve. Pero sa totoo lang, may moments naman din kasi na nakakashoot talaga siya. He just takes a lot of threes and doesn't make a lot, unfortunately. Pero tignan natin, why would it be important for him to make his shots? Una sa lahat, sayang kasi yung passing niya if defenses wouldn't really commit to him. Makikita natin dito, okay, papasa ulit kay Kun, si Porter nasa poste looking for an entry pass. Chris Kun was also looking for an entry pass pero hindi niya maibigay. Kasi yung defense, hindi siya nire-respeto from the outside. And inaabangan ng defense yung entry pass instead of actually defending him. And pag ganito lagi ang coverage sa kanya, nasasayang lang din. Diba na magaling siyang pumasa or nasasayang lang yung minutes niya kasi defenses don't respect him and therefore, hindi na di-distort yung defense kasi hindi nagre-react eh. You get opportunities diba by breaking down the defense pero if the defense don't actually defend, then what's the point? So it's very important for players like Chris Kun, especially standing at 6'5", to be able to either, attack the sagging off defense by attacking downhill. Usually ganito ginagawa ni Franz Wagner sa NBA. Pero he's not Franz Wagner. So it's very important for Chris Kun to at least, diba, be a respectable outside shooter. Kagaya dito. Diba, hindi siya binantayan. So tinira niya, shumut, diba? Kept the defense honest. And doon na magbubukas yung ibang parts ng laro niya. If defenses are closer, makakapasa siya sa entry pass, makakakat siya, 45 cut, etc. etc. Or even if hawak niya yung bola, mas madikit yung defense, mas magagamit niya yung size niya to ward off defenses, diba? Use his body to protect the ball, attack downhill, etc. Pero if defenses don't defend, then anong i-break down? Wala. Pangalawa kasi, being a wing player, naturally, most, offensive sets, ang nangyayari dyan, napupunta siya sa weak side. Siya yung nagiging spacer sa weak side. And usually, yung tao niya yung nag-help papunta sa strong side, sa help side defense. And if hindi siya makashoot sa labas, then baliwala lang din, di ba? Masikip yung lanes and masikip yung spacing. And nagiging liability pa nga kasi sumisikip dito sa side na to and hindi siya nire-respeto ng defense sa kabilang side. Basically, libreng help defense kapag nasa loob. So, if kaya niyang i-shoot, di ba, on a very consistent or very, respectable level, like 32%, yung mga ganitong klaseng tira, magdadalawang isip ngayon yung defenses. Na okay, magpapadala kami ng help pero we're not going to fully commit. Magtatag lang kami or, magjujuk lang. Some sort of a pre positioning para lang ma-deny yung bola papunta doon pero we're still going to defend. Hindi yung fully iniiwan ala Ben Simmons. Kasi kung makikita natin dito, kapag nagko-close out naman kasi yung defense sa kanya, doon na nagbubukas yung opportunity. Isa yung sinasabi natin kanina na anong i-breakdown mo kung wala rin naman nagde-defend. Dito, di ba? Nag-close out sa kanya aggressively, pump fake, tumalon. Di ba? May one dribble pull-up siya, and if mas naging patient siya dito, and ito, wala siyang kakampi rito, nandito yan sa kabila, yung Ateneo player na to, di ba? Meron pa siyang pocket pass papunta doon sa nagro-roll na big man na makakapag-draw ng help defense, and if nasa tamang posisyon nga tong player na to, would have been an extra pass. So, mas maraming branches, mas maraming opportunities to discover kasi nagre-react yung defense and nabe-breakdown yung defense. Instead of, the defense just standing around, bahala ka dyan, tumira ka dyan. Wala kang ibine-breakdown na defense. So, hindi mo na-distort yung defense. And ang nangyayari, nagiging predictable ka offensively. Now, let's talk about this pick and roll game. Dito, it's a dribble handoff, not necessarily a pick and roll, but a variation of it. This is a zoom action, basically pin down into a dribble handoff. So, there's going to be a pin down here. Then, Chris Kun mag-a-approach a bola. And then, there's going to be a dribble handoff from this guy. And then, magdadrive si Chris Kun papunta dito. This guy will space out here. And this guy will roll to the basket or pop. So now, pagkuha ng bola ni Chris Kun, basically parang pick and roll na rin yan, okay? Dumarive si Chris Kun, attracts defense, kicks out to an open shooter. And again, it's about distorting the defense. And being 6'5", diba? Being able to handle the ball, collapse the defense, drive to the paint. Very important skill set, especially sa size niya and sa position na nilalaro niya or lalaroin niya sa PBA. Ito naman, high ball screen sa transition. Siya yung nag-lead ng break. Again, being 6'5", being able to lead the break like this, like a guard, point forward, is very important. Mag-hang dribble siya rito, hesitation dribble to attack the drop defense na medyo mataas ng onte. So, hesitation dribble sa strong side ng kamay niya. Kaliwete kasi siya. So, strong finish. Again, being 6'5", paulit-ulit na ako being 6'5", but he's able to finish over most, defenders. Even kahit nga mga bigs pa yan sa PBA, kasi mostly bigs naman sa PBA is around 6'5", 6'7". So, malaking bagay din. Yes, he can't really shoot right now, pero marami pang ibang parts ng game niya na I think would allow him to succeed in different ways. Dito naman is going to be another high ball screen. Ia-ice ng defense yung screen. So basically, pag ina-ice mo, ito yung screen, i-deny mo yung player away from the screen. So dito, ang case dito, finorce ng FEU si Chris Kun away from the screen and papunta sa kanang kamay niya. So Chris Kun, nag-settle siya for a mid-range, diba? Shooting over the drop defense. And yun yung importansya of being able to hit your shots from the outside. Kasi you keep the defense honest and you keep the defense guessing kung anong gagawin mo. Kasi kung makikita natin sa susunod na play, okay, papasa sa kanya sa corner and then may saddle brush screen, Chris Kun will drive, diba? The defense respects his drive, nag-collapse yung defense, may help dito sa nail, so libre ngayon si Jared Bahay sa kick out ni Chris Kun. And yun yung importansya ulit of defense actually reacting sa ginagawa niya. Kasi ibig sabihin nun, threat siya sa loob ng court and doon na nagbubukas yung playmaking. Not only the scoring, diba? Pero if threat ka, defenses respect you, and doon na nagbubukas yung ibang parts ng game. Dito naman, inatake niya yung drop defense, spin move, jump shot. Hindi siya sumut, pero diba, iba't ibang looks na yung nakukuha ni Chris Kun. And if ma-shoot niya yung mga ganon, kahit sa very respectable level lang, it's going to be a very decent PBA player. So in terms of comparison, again guys, huwag masyado seryosohin. This is just for fun, pero gets ko rin naman. I'm not saying na kasing lakas, yung shades lang ng game, yung skill set and how it translates sa loob ng court. Not necessarily translates na output, but how it looks, how he plays. So, best case scenario for me is going to be a Will Navarro type of player sa size niya na yun, and yung, alam mo, being shooting, his weakness, yung playmaking and IQ, yung mga subtle things na yun, being his strengths. And yung pinaka-conservative ko naman na comp is Art de la Cruz. Na kung hindi rin naman na-injured si Art de la Cruz, diba? Hindi siya na-plague ng injuries. Baka naging very, reliable, solid starter level player naman si Art de la Cruz for a long time sa PBA. So, ayun. Chris Kun, despite his weaknesses, meron mga bright spots na hindi mo gaanong makikita sa ibang players. So I think nandun yung value ng isang Chris Kun. Being absurdly different and depende na lang sa teams, di ba? Kung anong tingin nila doon, kung paano nila yung pinaperceive, how they value yung ganong klaseng skill set.